I never expected a trash can to nearly ruin my peace, my marriage, and my faith in community. But that's exactly what happened, until I turned the tables in a way she never saw coming. It all started 6 months after we moved into Maplewood Lane. It was one of those cookie-cutter neighborhoods with neatly trimmed lawns, identical mailboxes, and the ever-present shadow of the HOA looming over everything like a nosy ant at a family barbecue. My wife, Sarah, and I had just bought our first home, a dream come true after years of scraping together every penny. It was quiet. It was clean. And it came with one neighbor who made everything feel like a living nightmare. Her name was Diane, but everyone whispered about her as Karen. She was the self-appointed queen of the HOA, even though she wasn't technically on the board. She was the type who carried a clipboard while walking her dog, ready to cite any violations from memory. Lawn too long. Warning. Holiday decorations up past the 2nd of January. Fine. But her war with me began over something unbelievably small, my trash can. Every Tuesday morning, I'd roll it to the curb, just like everyone else. But unlike everyone else, my can would be knocked over. Every single week. At first, I thought it was the wind, or maybe some kids messing around. But after the 4th time, I started to suspect something else was going on. Then, one morning, I caught her, Diane, walking past my house, stopping, glancing around, and shoving my trash can over with the toe of her pristine white sneaker like she was doing the world a favor. I stood frozen in disbelief behind the blinds. That moment sparked something in me I hadn't felt since college, the fire of being bullied for no reason, the feeling of being powerless. I told Sarah what I saw, but she urged me to let it go. She's petty, babe. Don't let her drag you down, she said, touching my arm gently. You have a good heart. Don't let her twist it. But it wasn't just about the trash anymore. It became weekly harassment. If the can wasn't knocked over, it was dragged a few inches off, designated curb space. Then came anonymous HOA citations about our unsightly bin, and threats of fines. I knew it was her. Her smug glance as she passed our driveway said more than any letter ever could. So I tried being civil. I walked over one morning, offered her a cup of coffee, and politely asked if we could talk about the trash can. She blinked at me like I was insane. I don't know what you're talking about, she snapped, then closed the door in my face. It wasn't just petty anymore. It was cruel. One night, I found Sarah sitting in the garage, eyes red. She'd just opened another envelope from the HOA threatening action against us for multiple bin violations. She looked at me and said, "This isn't fair. We did nothing wrong." And that's when I knew I had to fight back. Not with revenge, but with something better. So I got to work. I stayed up for nights researching city codes, HOA regulations, surveillance laws. I discovered that while trash bins couldn't be visible from the street on non-collection days, nothing stated that surveillance, especially for repeated vandalism, was prohibited. That's when an idea hit me. I'd install a fake trash can, with a surprise inside. I hollowed out a regular bin and installed a motion-activated wildlife camera, discreet, battery-operated, and perfectly legal. I also placed it just slightly askew on pickup day, bait. And sure enough, the very next morning, Diane struck again. The footage was gold. It showed her glancing around, smirking, and knocking it over with practiced precision. But I didn't post it online. I didn't call her out in public. That wasn't the point. Instead, I printed the stills, attached a polite letter, and dropped it, anonymously, into the HOA president's mailbox with a copy to Diane. The fallout was immediate. She was issued a formal warning from the board. Her smug walk stopped overnight. But that wasn't the real victory. A week later, Diane came to my door. No clipboard. No smug smile. Just tired eyes and a folded note in her hand. "I owe you an apology," she said, voice cracking. "I was taking things out on you that weren't your fault. I've been going through a hard time, and I let it twist me into someone I don't like. I didn't say anything at first. I just stepped aside and let her speak. Her husband had passed 2 years ago. Her kids had moved away. Her world had gotten small, and controlling others gave her a false sense of power. She said she knew it wasn't right. That the pictures made her see herself clearly for the first time in a long while. We talked for an hour. That was 2 months ago. Since then, Diane, or Karen, as we all called her, has changed. She's still nosy, still opinionated. But she brings in neighbors' bins now instead of knocking them over. She even baked cookies for the neighborhood block party last month. And the trash can. It's still there, the hollow one with the camera, though now it's just a reminder. A symbol that sometimes, you don't fight cruelty with cruelty. You fight it with proof, patience, and a little creativity. Because sometimes, the best revenge isn't revenge at all, it's showing someone who they really are, and giving them a chance to change. End scene fades out with soft music and images of the neighborhood, kids playing, neighbors chatting, and Diane waving from across the street. Voiceover. No one knows what battles others are facing behind their fences. But maybe, just maybe, a little compassion, mixed with a firm boundary, is how we keep our neighborhoods, and ourselves, from falling apart. Let me know if you'd like me to format this into a YouTube script or add voiceover timing suggestions.